What's going on, Opecast? Today we have a very, very special guest. She's been our mother, our aunt, our grandma. I mean, she's reached every single generation. My grandma used to watch her shows, actually still does. My niece loves Mama Odie from The Princess and the Frog. So, and then there's me, where I've seen almost every single TV show, every single movie that you've been in. And some of them, whenever I was going through the list, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was you. So without further ado, Jenifer Lewis, welcome.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. Wow, coming home to Kinloch, Missouri. Coming home to St. Louis. I mean, this is where it all started, you know. I sang my first solo at First Baptist Church in Kinloch, and from the reaction of the congregation, I never looked back. People were screaming and crying and shouting and screaming, "Sing, Jenny, sing, Jenny." And I never looked back. I've been in show business since I was 5 years old. And, you know, Kinloch High School, Kinloch Elementary School. Kinloch was a self-governed, all-black township, the largest in America at one time, 3,000 population. And I loved growing up there. It's a ghost town now, but it's home to me, still home. If the land is still there, it's home to me. And, you know, Webster University, of course, molded me into an actress. I have my BA in theater arts. And they gave me an honorary doctorate, I think, a few years ago. I think it was 2015. And I want to thank Dr. Strobel for that. And what can I tell you? This is home. Everybody's been asking me, which means more, the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or the star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame? It's the same, because one made me and the other one is who I am, what I became, you know? So it's equal.
Now, recently you were able to ride Tiana's Bayou right there.
Okay, that is very exciting. I mean, the animated feature, Princess and the Frog, which was how many years ago?
15?
Oh my God, 15, yes. Has now become a ride called Tiana's Great Adventure at Disney World, and it hasn't opened in Disneyland yet, but I am blown away by that. I mean, I have an animatronic, Mama Odie, the 200-year-old mama in the forest in this animation. She interacts with the little frogs and tells them to dig a little deeper to find out who they are. You know, it's a great song. Randy Newman with a live orchestra. It was a great recording. And I think I did that song at least 1,000 times because I wanted it to be perfect. But now it's a ride. It's an actual ride where you go down a roller coaster and splash into water. But Mama Odie is the last thing you see before you go down. It's very exciting. They captured the whole culture of New Orleans, everything from the food, the spices, the music. It's all there. The history. So to have an animatronic and my voice is coming out of this thing that looks human kind of blew me away. I
mean, you've played so many iconic roles, but now each day, I don't even know the number, 20,000 people will ride that ride, and like you're immortalized.
Well, you're there forever. I mean, I'll be dead and gone, and kids will hear my voice, and I can actually like cry now. That's so moving to me. I'm also on the Cars ride in Disneyland.
Yep.
I played Flo, the little, I think she's a 1957 Cadillac. So, yeah, Flo, and Flo has a restaurant in Disneyland called Flo's V8 Cafe. I went in there and all the kids were, they all still have pimples and everything. And I went in there and I announced, I said, "Hey everybody, I'm Flo. I'm Flo." They were like, "Ma'am, do you want a hamburger or a hot dog with your French fries?" They didn't know who I was. It was very funny.
So now this next chapter of your career, what can we expect, or what can you expect out of yourself?
Well, listen, I know everybody heard about the accident in Africa where I fell 10 feet off the deck of my hotel and fractured my acetabulum, which is the socket that holds the femur bone. And when my right buttocks took the hit, every time I do that, I'd be like, because it was so painful. I fell 10 feet into wild animals in the Serengeti. I mean, who has this story? And I can joke about it now, but I assure you there was nothing funny about it. I fell into pitch black. I didn't know there were animals down there, but I was able to wake up my girlfriend who was way back in her room, but everybody knows I got a loud voice, so I assure you it came in handy that night. I couldn't move my body. The Maasai warriors, and if you don't know who that is, look it up. A great tribe in Tanzania. It's so amazing because I had visited their mud village on my first trip to Africa. And I fell 10 feet off the deck. There was an opening. It was unsafe. Mm-hmm. Let's just face it. It was an unsafe deck. And no, I wasn't drunk. And no, I wasn't high. I was just taking in the fact that I was back in Africa for my second time. And there was a space, and I fell 10 feet. Doctors Without Borders, which is a great organization that I've actually supported in the past. They arrived with a helicopter and took me out, flew me from Tanzania to Nairobi, Kenya. I had a 9-hour surgery, 6 days in ICU, and I have been rehabbing for the last year and a half. I'm doing great.
Looking great as well.
Yeah, thank you. I worked hard to come back. Look, I'm an alpha female. I didn't know how not to come back. It was very painful, but I did a lot of body work before the accident, and I say to people, please take care of your bodies as best you can, because when traumatic things happen, you'll come back. You can come back. The human body, and that was another thing that I was just amazed at, is the magic and the excellence of the human body, the perfection of it, how it heals, how one day you can put your sock on, the next day, the first day you can't, the next day you can, because the work is done and the healing is happening if you do the work once again. So I came back to the States, the Doctors Without Borders. Oh, wait a minute. Let me pause and thank Doctors Without Borders, the doctors and nurses at Aga Khan University in Nairobi, Kenya, for saving my life. In all these interviews, I take a moment and thank them. Blackish is very popular in Kenya, so I got a little extra attention. But it was extremely traumatic. I have not as much post-traumatic stress, but that will always be there. Mm. So there was a lion roar. Let me just get that out of the way. Like a lion roar. So it wasn't Daniel in the lion's den, it was Diva in the lion's den. But I will say this, all joking aside, When you look death in the face, and in my case, literally taking my head out of the lion's mouth, you either give up, become a victim, and feel sorry for yourself, or you come back, and you come back better. Present. I came back better because I didn't know how not to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm that, God gave me a gift to know how to rise, how to get up. My entire life, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I came through a lot to get where I am, and I'm very happy now. I was molested by the pastor of my church. All of these things, we were not promised a rose garden without thorns.
Mm-hmm.
Our job is to navigate and become precious, amazing beings that we are, to appreciate life, to honor life itself. And that's what I'm busy doing right now after this fall, is giving back to the next generation. I had the opportunity to live the American dream, and that's being taken from them now. You see, it's being taken from the next generation. Their rights to vote, their rights to women's health, their rights to gay health issues. Well, it is health. It's all health. So that's my job now.
To
give back.
Give back, yeah.
I got everything I wanted. I worked hard. Everything I wanted. Very few people can say that. But it's work. That doesn't come easy. That statement. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want. No, that I don't have. Okay. A tall black man. You better watch out.
Too
young.
I was gonna say too young.
Too young. No, I'm done with that too. No, my life is dedicated to the next generation and the generation after that. You know, I couldn't remember how to walk after a 9-hour surgery and 6 days in ICU. I remember gazing up. It was a tall ceiling. And the young African man, he said to me, "Mom, you must walk here now. Walk here." I couldn't remember how to walk. Now that was a moment. I cried. I sat down in the wheelchair. I told him to give me a moment. And I said these words to myself. So far from home, so far from Kinloch, so far from St. Louis, in Nairobi, Kenya, here I am, and I can't remember how to walk. It was the first time I cried. I missed my siblings. I wanted my sisters and my brother. I felt so vulnerable. But I said to myself, you'll get up, you'll walk, or I'll kill you myself. I'll kill you. Now get up.
Powerful.
And I didn't know you could be in that much pain and be alive. But I walked. You have to want to live. You have to want to get better, no matter what's going on in your life. That's all we are. That's all human beings are. We want more. More and more. Every day we want more of this, more of that. More knowledge, more money, more adventure. So work for it. Dedicate your life to your passion. That's what I did. I had a passion, and my focus was narrow, and that's why I became the success I am today. But let me tell you how I define success. The movies, the TV, all of that's one thing. But I went and took care of myself when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. That is my greatest accomplishment, because it allows me to sit here right now in my skin. But my greatest success is I have a smile on my face 95% of the time.
Beautiful smile.
Thank you. But that's my success, you know. Money can't buy it. Get that in your head right now. Fame can't buy it. I mean, look at all my babies. Michael, Prince, Whitney, Robin Williams, all of them. There's nothing easy about fame and fortune. It's work. And I'm one of the lucky ones that came through the fire. And that's what I want to give the next generation. There is no fire too big to come through. I was on the ground of the Serengeti. You get up, get up. Get up.
One focus on this podcast that we love talking about is food, because food is something that brings us all together. And so are there certain dishes when you come back to St. Louis you're like, you know what?
Well,
have that.
let me tell you something. This is another thing I want to say about, you know, not paying attention and falling down, falling out of this, falling out of that. However you fall, it's all about how you get up. One of the other setbacks when you injure yourself, that's why you got to pay attention. You gain weight if you can't move. So food is the last thing I want to talk about.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I'm going to tell you some of my favorite dishes though. But yeah, you lose weight. I mean, you gain weight. So take care of your bodies. My favorite dishes when I come back home to St. Louis is jack salmon, fried fish, spaghetti, not pasta, spaghetti. Coleslaw with pickles, onions, all of the trimmings that go with it. And my sister is making it for me tomorrow.
Oh.
Did you hear about that? Yeah, we're going to have fried fish. That's my favorite meal when I come home. And coconut white cake. I'll have a little piece.
Her brother is over there. So
Yeah, my
y'all
brother
can-
Larry Lewis is here. Taught in the St. Louis School District for 30 years. He's retired now. He's a Kappa. Very proud of that. And every time I come home, he's right at my side, making sure that I'm safe and comfortable. And I appreciate that, Larry, very much so. Come on over here and get in camera. Come on, get over here. Come on. Get over here, come on. Come on over here, stand right behind me so they can get you. Yeah, he dresses really good. Come down here so they can get you. They got the camera focused. This is my brother Larry, everybody. So, yeah, and so don't mess with me because he'll come for you.
right.
Know that.
That's right.
He's holding down the Lewis name right here in St. Louis.
That's right.
Dinner guest, if you can have 3 people to join you for dinner, dead or alive, who would they be and what would you guys talk about?
Well, that's easy. Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama, and Jane Fonda. I think that would be an amazing dinner.
And what are y'all talking about?
What will we talk about? That's a big one, baby. We talk about a better world. We talk about kindness, love, the struggles of mankind, and how we can help. How can we help more? What can we do to have more justice in the world? What can we do to help and give people hope so they can help themselves? I think that would be the subject at the table.
It's amazing. Well, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here on Opecast. And, you know, even to those tuning in around the country or around the world, it's even though you and I are sitting here right now, or those everyone listening, watching, they've been listening to for 20, 30 minutes, you've played such a big role in all of our lives. Sometimes, like, you know, we're watching TV and you're playing that role and you're being that mother figure, that aunt, you know, that person that is inspiring us and helping us. And so just sitting down with you today, just really want to say thank you.
Well, listen, what else is there but to give back? Since my fall in Africa, and I have to say even before, my life was of service, and now it's more of service. That's pretty much it.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome, sweetie. Thank you. Great questions.
Thank you.